What's up everybody, I'm Abatage and welcome back to Banished, where we are in the middle of our second winter. What a beautiful thing. Our forester's working away in the forest, our herbalist is working away with the herbs, our gatherer is gathering. Oh, gathering quite well. We could do with more gathering, but you know, you get what you got. Our farmers are farming. Any moment now they're going to start planting the next season's worth of crops. Get some more corn onto the picture. And we're kind of trucking along. We didn't run out of food during the winter, which I was very scared about doing about the end of the last episode. I was getting a bit worried there. But we managed to hold out. See, look at all this beautiful food that we've been collecting. There's onions and roots. There's herbs. There's corn. There's venison. And that's all thanks to our cornfields. And our gatherer who's gathering all the fruit and veg and that sort of thing. Well, not fruit, but all the veg and the mushies and all that kind of stuff. Herbs for medicinal purposes coming from the herbalist. Venison's coming from the hunting cabin. And we're all having a lovely time. Oh, and look at spring. I love spring in this game. Such a beautiful looking game. Oh, and it snowed. Goddamn snow. I don't like snow though. It makes me feel cold. We are at 0 degrees. We've got a population of 24. 24. 15 adults, 9 chillins. And because we didn't run out of food, I'm going to build another house. I know, living dangerously, hey. But we want to promote some growth. Because even though it's a very tenuous kind of experience and existence, we kind of want to promote growth a little bit. And we kind of need a water well. Let's put one down the end of the road here. Because occasionally houses will catch fire and stuff, and if there isn't a well nearby, ain't nobody putting that out. So we'll get another house there. That'll give us some more workers eventually for these jobs which aren't being filled right now, such as we need 2 more gatherers and we need 2 more foresters. And we could use another herbalist, but at the moment 1 herbalist is plenty because they're maxing it out regardless. I tend to build multiple woodcutter places. Because firewood gets ripped through and there's only so much one person can make. So last season they've made 324, this season they've made 132 so far. So that's cool. We've got 300 firewood sitting in the stockpile and that is the limit. But I think I'm going to actually raise the limit. Because you can never have too much firewood, just like you can never have too much food. Like, food has a limit, but oh, this yield is not so good. I think maybe because it snowed while they were planting this part. Yeah, I know the reserve of food is low. Oh, they're hungry. It's just because you haven't pulled any food to your new house yet. That's why you're hungry. You just haven't got anything in your inventory. But you will soon. Come on. Yeah, you're not hungry anymore. But this is why eventually, when you get big enough, you start building, like I'd have a barn over here as well. Because then they don't have to travel as far, because the way they distribute things is kind of a bit wonky. As in, they'll take stuff to the nearest barn or the nearest stockpile. So you do end up having a bit of a mix of stuff all over the joint. But the main thing is the distance people have to travel to get to those resources. Because I've had my first experience building a town in Banished. Let me tell you about that. I was really spread out and really large, and I had like a whole lot of farms all off on one section, and then, you know, kept it like more of a realistic kind of setup, where I had like fields for days. on one kind of little island. And everyone had to travel so far to get there to work that they were always starving because they had to... They're like, oh, I'm working, and then they go to get something to eat, but it takes them, you know, days in game time to actually go get something to eat. So they'd end up starving to death, which isn't so hot. But we just had a couple of people... Oh, look at all these chillins growing up. Let's slow this down a little so we can get a grip on it. Wow, what a great summer. We just had 1, 2, 3, 4 children becoming adults. So, let's max out some stuff. Let's add a couple more gatherers. That'll give us some foods. Let's get another builder, although I'm not sure what we're building at the moment. Oh, the well, of course. With all these jobs, you can click on the little arrow here to cycle through the people who are doing that job. So that's probably not a very good example, but if I go here, there's someone out gathering. There's another one. There's another one. And the other one. And that's pretty cool. I like that you can do that. You can really... You can play a really micro game if you want, or you can go more macro. I tend to go more macro because I'm not big on micro, but that's why I tend to speed up a lot as I'm playing, like, just speed up, speed up, speed up, because eventually I play at like 10 times speed, so it's just like burning through, because then you get a really quick, I guess, bit of feedback on how well your setup is going, because you need to rip through a season to get the data on just how successful that season was, or how unsuccessful, or how balanced your population is, and all that kind of thing. So, you know, it's cool. I like it. Now, I'm thinking we might actually get an orchid in here soon. How old are these children? No children there, no children there. 3-year-old? It's when they turn 10 that they become adults in this game, because it's, you know, that's how they roll. No child. 4-year-old. A 9 and a 2-year-old. Okay, so we've got one kid that's going to be an adult soon. The rest are going to be a fair way away. So we don't want to overdo it too soon. So let's speed up a bit. We've got a fair bit of food coming in now, which is nice. I say a fair bit, but we've got enough. At least I think it's enough. But I want to build an orchid, so... Orchard. Orchid, orchard. Orchid. Am I right in thinking a flower is an orchid, but a field of, say, apple trees is an orchard? I think that's how it goes, right? I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll go with orchard. Ooh, new kids being born. Nice. Means we'll get some more workers, some lovely labourers growing up. It's always a good thing. But I feel like we're in a fairly stable state, and that's why I said when I started this series, I said, you know, this is a fairly slow game. It's very easy to while away the hours because it takes a long time to get anything done if you want to keep everything stable. And it is very slow because you kind of want to go make a few changes, say build some more production or build another house or something, and then wait a good season, like a good year, before you can really say whether it's sustainable or not, or whether you need to balance it out a little bit more. Like maybe you build another house, but that means that they're going to grow a lot quicker. So you're going to have a whole bunch of children who are going to eat all this food and consume firewood and clothing and all that kind of stuff. But you're not going to have anyone to... You might not have enough production going on to replenish those supplies. Speaking of which, we should get a tailor in, because we're going to run out of clothes soon, aren't we? We've got 4 hide coats left. Let's get a tailor on the map. Let's just bring down the speed a little so we can get it done before anything crazy happens. Oh, look at that. That tailor will fit in nicely right there between the roads. On the corner, in front of the fields. Bam. Cool, so we really should start producing some coats, otherwise we're going to see some icons come up during winter that says everyone's freezing their tits off. So that would be useful. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of just letting things play out. Oh, someone grew up as a labourer. Nice. Our stone reserve is low. Guess we better harvest some stone, hey? Let's grab this stone that's kind of in the middle of where we're building. But yeah, you kind of want to like build the tailor and whoever and just kind of let it simmer for a little bit as we go into winter. Which is always a scary time. Winter's when all the shit happens. So yeah, we'll build stuff and then kind of let it simmer for a season or two, especially through a winter. We've got a good crop of food going at the moment. This is much better than last winter. If you remember last winter, we started it with about 400 food. This time we've got 1,700, which is pretty fantastic. It's because of all that gathering that we're doing. Yeah, and all the venison too. There's 400 venison sitting in there. That's awesome. We've got 42 leather, so that'll make some nice hide coats. It's going pretty good, I think. It's very easy to like just blow your wad though, because I've got like these houses are so ready to expand. I've got 3 adults and a child in there, 3 adults and a child in there, 3 adults and 2 children in there, 3 adults and a child, 2 adults and a child, and 2 adults and a child. And whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4 adults and a child. So all those houses with more than 2 adults, if I build a house, they'd move straight in, straight away. But we don't want them to do that, because they'll move in and they'll start, you know, bumping uglies, and before you know it, you've got a whole bunch of kids and more mouths to feed, man, and keep warm and all that kind of shit. At least if they're living with their parents, they're not, you know, making the babies. Which is good, because, you know, who wants to be making babies in their parents' house? Right, Taylor, let's get someone onto the job, because we have a spare couple of labourers. Everyone else should be maxed out except the herbalist. No, we've got forester position available. Let's go back down to 1 builder and we'll add it. No, that's a herbalist. We'll add another forester. And we'll wait for someone else to grow up. It's nice having a labourer up your sleeve. Just in case you need them. Because like I said, labourers replace people automatically if they die. So it's kind of nice if they do. But she's gonna... She or he, who's working here? Whatever. But you can make hide coats, which require leather. You can make woolen coats, which require wool, but for wool, obviously, you need sheep. Or you can make warm coats, which require leather and wool. So obviously, we'll end up making warm coats and steel tools and that sort of thing, but for now, we don't have the resources, so we've got to make do with what we've got. And this tailor's right next to the barn, so they shouldn't have any problem transferring stuff across and making lots of coats. They've already made 19 coats though, that's pretty good. They're going to make more coats than we have leather, so I'm cool with that. But you can see at the moment this kind of foresty area is beginning to thin out a little, because our foresters are obviously hard at work making it happen. Let's get rid of this stone, and let's get rid of this iron. Let's just make sure we've got all that stone. Yeah, that'll do. Because then they'll be able to plant trees around there, and there'll be more stuff to gather for our gatherers and all that lovely, lovely stuff. Oh. This is why I like this game though, because it's kind of a real balancing act. It's not, what more can I say? It's simulated well enough. Like every person adds to the conditions, I guess. And like when you start getting into hundreds of population, it really starts getting a bit weird and wonderful. But you can see we just got out of winter and we still have 1900 food left in the barn. So I think that's a pretty good sign that we can support another family if we build another house. Oh, look at all the trees bloom for spring. So let's build another house. because we'll need it. Let's just double check the pathing. That's cool, that's cool. Yeah, so the Forester are still bringing people from over here. Oh, and the hunters. God damn. Yeah, we need some more houses up this way. Although I don't like to make it too busy around these places because we still want to be able to have room for trees and all that good stuff that, you know, all these places require to get their resources. But we'll pop another house in. We could probably put 2 in at this rate, but, you know, small steps. I'm playing a cautious game. Because as soon as the balance tips, it's like downhill really, really quickly. So, you know, you can't be reckless with this game. You have to be very, very particular, and the safest way is the slowest, unfortunately, but hey, that's okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, see, our tailor now has run out of leather. They don't have enough materials. Oh, our logs are getting low. That means we must be ripping through them fairly quickly. Well, I guess with all the building we've been doing. How many logs are you producing? Not heaps. Definitely need to... Yeah, let's plop another Forester on there to max them out again. So you can see this gets thicker and thinner as the seasons come and go, and as they chop and plant things. So there's a whole bunch of like small little trees growing down here. So they'll grab that eventually. Everyone's out picking up the iron and the stone. Let's get rid of this iron that's like right next to our main town. Oh, we've reached the max for clothes. Oh, that's brilliant. Love it. That's what I like to see. I think we'll stick to 5 times speed at the moment. Even though, you know, I've just been chatting away for a while and nothing, not a lot's really happened. But, you know, as I said, that's Banished. At least we're up to our 4th year, which is pretty good, isn't it? The longest I think I've lasted is about 100 years so far. Like, one of my saves is still going. And I think I've lasted about 100 years and I'm up to about 300 or 400 population, which is pretty epic. So definitely a lot of management needed for that, but it's a lot of fun. It just gets more and more complex. Like, you need a good variety of food, you end up with heaps of different people in every profession. And yeah, I mean, eventually one of the kind of early game things to build is a school as well, because then all your children, when they grow up, they'll become students, and then those students will become adults, so they take a little bit longer to get to adulthood. But once they do, because they've been students, they're actually better workers, and they work a lot harder and more efficiently and that sort of thing, so it benefits everybody in that sense. And I like that. So yeah, immediately we've had Charla and Michelle. Charla, who is a dude who's 13, and Michelle, who is 23. So there's a few age gaps in this game when it comes to families. That's got to be said. There's, you know, it's a little bit... It's definitely old school. It's playing its medieval times kind of card close to the heart. What with the sometimes very young parents or very broad age gaps between parents. But it's nice to see everyone here have reached their capacity, so we're not going to run out of that stuff anytime soon. We've got a good chunk of food sitting in the barn over here. Let's look at it. Oh, look at all that variety as well. That'll keep them happy. We're very healthy and we're very happy. We've maxed out our tools and our stored clothes and our herbs. We've got almost 2.5 grand worth of food, so we can definitely build some more houses. We've got 400, which I think is our max of stored firewood. We're creating logs all the time. We're digging up stone. Oh, everything's coming up the better here. Look at that. Look at our nice little settlement. All the farmers live here and the production and everything. And over here are all the kind of hunter-gatherers. What a fucking cool little town we've got going. Oh, and we've had a new labourer come up, which I missed. But old abatage ham is really coming together nicely, I think. We're gonna get that orchard before orchard. We're gonna get that orchard before too long, which will be nice and fun. But for now, I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's have a little look at our dudes farming. Look at them go. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there and say farewell and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode where we'll start branching out a little and building some more stuff and getting some more variety going on and actually pushing the growth a little bit now that we're super stable and producing more than we use by a lot. So I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.